Okay, what year were you born?
December the 8th, 1940. 1940.
All right. Where have you lived in your life? Where were you born and where did you grow up?
I was born in Yadkin County, and I grew up in Yadkinville, North Carolina.
Okay, third question. What do you remember about the Civil Rights Movement?
What do I remember about the Civil Rights Movement? Well, Martin Luther King did the Selma March. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Your granddaddy was in the army and he had to guard. He was an MP and he had to guard them through Selma, the march through Selma, when they had the civil rights there.
Well, geez.
It's a shame Granddad can't do this. If he could hear, he could do it better. But
yeah. All right.
Okay, go ahead, baby.
All right, next question. Do you believe the Civil Rights Movement was different in the South?
Yes, definitely.
If so, how?
Well, the white people didn't want the black people around them. They didn't want them to use the bathroom. They didn't want them to ride the bus.
All right.
They didn't want them to drink out of water fountains.
Okay.
They had to go to their own schools. They were mean to the black people.
Yeah. All right. Next question. How was your life influenced by the Civil Rights Movement?
Well, I lived in the country, so it didn't bother me. They were all whites around us in Yadkinville.
Okay. What was your first memory of racism? The youngest age, how you were first introduced into the conflict between whites and blacks.
What do I remember about the blacks?
What was your first memory of racism?
We had a black man that come and plowed our garden, and I would ride the mule with him to the store.
How did you react? How did you react from the first memory?
Well, I think they were mistreated.
Oh, okay.
I really do. And I didn't agree with that. Everybody should be treated the same.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, they had to ride the back of the bus. They couldn't eat at they had to go to different places to eat.
Yeah. Can you give some examples of segregation during the Civil Rights Movement?
Let me think. Repeat that. I'm gonna put Josie on
Okay.
here. She knows about it. Hold on.
All right.
Ask Josie. Hey, Hart.
Hey, can you give some examples of segregation during the Civil Rights Movement?
Okay. I worked at Woolworths, and they had 2 lunch counters, 2 water fountains, and 2 bathrooms. The black people had a lunch counter, a water fountain, and a bathroom, and the white people had a lunch counter and a water fountain in the bathroom. And the black people weren't allowed to use the white people's bathroom or eat at the white lunch counter. But while I was still working there, they had talked about coming in and sitting down at the white lunch counter. And I asked the manager what he would do, and he said he would just shut down the lunch counter. I mean, he didn't have much to say so. And then you get on the city bus, and all the black people had to go to the back of the bus to sit. They weren't allowed to sit up front.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And they were treated bad.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
And it was things like that just went on, and thank goodness, I was 16 at the time, and by the time I graduated, the segregation had started.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Wow. How often did you interact with an African American during the Civil Rights Movement?
Well, see, they didn't go to. They had their own school system, and we had ours, and we didn't.
Mm. So, how often do you think you ever like talked or conversated with an African American?
Oh, later in life, all the time.
Oh no, during the civil rights movement, like once a week, once a month, like really never.
Well, never, because we didn't come in contact with any black people.
Oh wow. So much different than it is now, I guess.
Oh yeah, much different.
Yeah. Did you participate in the movement?
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Were your schools? Yeah, I guess all your schools were only white, like you said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
and if a black lady got on the bus, and I saw this whenever an elderly black lady got on the bus, and she had worked all day, and nobody would get up and give her seat.
Yeah. Mhm.
If she had been white, they would have done that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Looking back on the whole deal with the movement, do you think that it was good or bad?
Well, I think it was for the better, because it did give the black people rights.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think Martin Luther King did a whole lot for the black people.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What was, oh, go ahead.
I don't think it was right the way they were treated.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I didn't have anything to do with it. That a lot of that was before I was born, didn't it? But I still don't think they were done right.
Oh yeah, they were treated very poorly, without a doubt.
Yeah.
What was the worst thing, like worst piece of racism, or most racist thing, brutal thing you saw happen to an African American?
Well, I actually didn't see anything.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I just wasn't where the black people were. See, I lived in an all-white neighborhood, and I really didn't see anything, but I've heard horror stories.
Oh, yeah.
Of people that lived in Georgia. A friend of mine, I worked with her, and she was an older lady, and she lived in Georgia. And they said they hanged the black men and boys in barns. But see, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So that's the worst that you heard?
Yeah. But see, I never saw anything, because where I worked, it was all white people, and when I went to school, it was all white people, and I lived in an all white neighborhood.
Yeah. With the outcome of the movement, the way that Martin Luther King Jr. Kind of led the path for the African Americans, how different do you think it would have been if he hadn't been there to lead the way?
I think it would have been both great between the whites and the blacks, and things would have been much better for both races. I think he did a lot for the black people.
Yeah. But how different do you think the outcome of the civil rights movement would have been if he hadn't been there?
If he hadn't have been there, I think there would have been a lot more killings and church burnings and things of that nature.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he led the peaceful protest, definitely. How different was the relationship between blacks and whites right after the end of the civil rights movement? Like in the 70s?
It got better because they didn't exactly have equal rights, but then they had started segregating the schools, putting the blacks in white schools and the whites in the black schools. And that was a hard movement in the later 70s and early 80s, but I think it worked out fine.
Yeah.
I think it worked out for the best, better. It was better on the blacks and the whites.
Now, had you still been in school when they started to integrate them?
No, I had gotten out of school.
Okay.
I graduated in '62.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that wrapped up all the questions. Thank you.
Well, honey, I hope I helped you some.
Oh, you did. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome, and here's your grandma.
Okay.
Honey, it's a shame Grandy couldn't hear because he was involved.